Hello and welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear the words comfy clothes, often the types of outfits that come to mind aren't the most elegant. They're more so outfits that you may use words such as slobby or relaxed, but you don't generally think of comfy outfits as outfits that are elevated, elegant, chic. But in today's video, I actually want to shine light and showcase that you can absolutely still look put together like you've made an effort without compromising on your comfort. As I've reached my 30s, I'm no longer happy to compromise on my comfort for style. I'm all about wanting to look chic and refined, but I still want to feel comfortable. That's really important to me. Back in the day, in my teens and early 20s, I was happy to wear really restrictive clothing. Maybe they were itchy, really high heels. I wasn't bothered about if I was comfortable. I only cared about how I looked. But that has completely changed now. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 easy wardrobe swaps that you can make that are comfortable, wearable, but that don't compromise on style and elegance. The majority of the items that I'm going to be sharing with you, you will be able to find down below. So I'm hoping that today's video will be proof that you can absolutely look elevated and chic, but you don't need to compromise on your comfort. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Number 1, and starting out with swapping your tight and restrictive trousers to a wide leg stretchy trouser. Now, admittedly, skinny jeans, tight trousers can be really flattering. They can show off your silhouette, they can elongate the leg. But for me personally, there is something about wearing tight, restrictive trousers, particularly as the day goes on, that I just find unfavorable. It's not something I enjoy. I very, very rarely wear tight trousers anymore, and if I do, they are extremely stretchy. You can still wear a full length trouser, but my preference and the swap that I would recommend is to go for a nice wide leg palazzo style trouser. Something with an elasticated waist, something that has lots of stretch. Now, this type of trouser, it's chic, it's modern, it's very versatile. You can wear them with platform trainers, you can wear them with pointed shoes, you can wear them with heels, you can style them up for pretty much all occasions. They're so versatile, and you'll probably notice me wearing a wide leg trouser in a lot of my videos. You don't need many pairs in your wardrobe to really get a lot of functionality out of them. The two that I'm showing you is we've got a navy pair and we've got a black pair. I particularly like these types of colours. They go with the majority of my wardrobe. They're also less prone to things like stains if you sit in something or you use public transport. Both of the pairs here are by a brand that I have mentioned here quite a few times. They're by Halara, and the reason I like Halara, not only for the price point, but also for the stretch and their designs. Their trouser styles come in lots of different colours. They also come in different heights, which is very important when looking at trousers. I'm only 5 foot, so I buy their short range, but they also have your regular range and they have a tall range. So they've got something for everybody, which means not only are they gonna fit well, but it also means you don't have to go and get them tailored, so they're gonna fit you better, you're gonna look better because your clothes fit you better, and generally all around, I recommend them if you are trying to kind of have a play around with your style, you want to give them a go. I really do think they're a great starting point. Wide leg trousers can be styled in so many ways. You can go for a lighter fabric for the summer and spring months. You can go for a heavier, maybe a fleece lined version in the winter and the autumn. You can style them with a little top tucked in. You can wear them with shirts, with blazers. Just so versatile, and definitely worth considering if you're finding you want something just a little bit more giving, but without compromising on your style and how you look and feel. What I particularly like about the styles I'm showing you here are they have a really nice stretchy waistband. Some trousers, you know, they zip up and they haven't got that much give, whereas both of the pairs that I'm showing you here, they've got a nice stretchy waistband, which again for me is quite important. As the day goes on, I do get more bloated, and I like to end my day still feeling as comfortable as I did when I left the house. Moving on to style swap number 2. When it comes to wearing a day dress, particularly in the summer and the warmer months, it's really nice to wear a little short dress. Absolutely. However, I'm somebody that's never really been into particularly showy dresses, even if they are shorter. I like something that still leaves a little something to the imagination. For me, that makes me feel more comfortable. So I don't like anything too deep cut. I don't like anything that's too tight, particularly from the waist downwards. So my style swap for tighter dresses is anything with a nice A-line. What's great about A-line is it really does a great job at creating that beautiful figure of 8 silhouette. It sucks you in at the waist and then it flares out, leaving everything else to do its own thing. That's what I like. I like an optical illusion. It makes me feel more comfortable. The other thing about an A-line silhouette, I do think it's a little bit more classy than a super tight dress. You can still show a little bit of skin, it still hugs certain parts of your body, but I think that flaring out from the waist, it's got a very nice feminine fall and form to it. So it's something that I gravitate towards more so than, say, something a little bit tighter. Now again, the two options I'm showing you here, they're both super stretchy. Throughout all of the items I'm showing you today, it's all about not only the shape of the clothing, but how it moves. Does it have give? Are you able to move freely and comfortably? Both of the dresses here, although they are short, they do have built-in shorts, which again adds to my comfort. I like to know that if there is a gust of wind or whatever it may be, I'm covered. But they've also both got a neckline that still feels relatively modest. They are shorter dresses, absolutely, but when it comes to kind of the rest of the body, I still feel like they're covering quite a large portion of that upper part of the body, so I still feel comfortable in them, but it's still playful, you know, you're still wearing a mini dress, so it's a really nice balance and compromise. Again, both the dresses I'm showing you here are Halara. They are my go-to for summer stretchy dresses. I wore them all last summer as well, and they are just a great middle ground for a comfortable yet still fashion forward look. I think adding a structured blazer to pretty much any outfit is a fail-safe way to immediately heighten and elevate a look. You could wear the most simple outfit in the world, throw it on with a blazer, it just looks so much more opulent and it just gives it that more refined look and feel. So if you are somebody that wants to maybe wear a little summer dress, it doesn't have to be a mini one like mine, it could maybe be a floor length one or a midi length. That A-line shape for me is the most comfortable. It's something that gives me a bit of room to move if I do get bloated throughout the day, or I just don't want something too restrictive around my stomach. That's perfect for me, that's what I go for, and that is what I would recommend as your style swap for your summer dresses. And not to mention, these dresses can be styled up, but they can be styled down as well. The way I've styled them here is kind of mid-range. I've kind of gone for a semi-dressed up look, but if I were to throw them on with some nice sandals, maybe a little wicker bag, perfect for summer. Or I could put them on with some pointed heels, some really glamorous earrings, maybe a red lip, and I've elevated them as well. So very versatile, really nice and stretchy. The shape is still really feminine and flattering, but it's comfortable. So there is no compromise on either style nor comfort. We're moving on to style swap number 3. And this is for any of you out there that like to wear a cardigan or maybe like a frumpy jumper. We've all been there. I myself definitely have. And what's great about carrying a jumper or jacket around is they're just nice to throw on, aren't they? They keep you warm. They're just a nice bit of comfort. But if you want to elevate that and you want to give that comfort, that nice cardigan, a little bit of a heightened look and feel, you can go for a fabric style blazer. And these blazers are not as rigid as something like I'm wearing today. They're not as rigid as this. They're almost the material of a stretchy cardigan, but with the form and shape of a really nice structured blazer or jacket. So it's kind of like a melange of the two. Now the one I'm wearing here, I particularly love because it's got this amazing structure in the waist, this peplum, and I love this. However, there are others out there, it doesn't need to be as bold as this. But if you are somebody that tends to reach for something a little bit drab, I definitely have a couple on the way out of my house that I leave in the hallway that I need to stop grabbing. You know, those ones that you just chuck on? It's a very easy style swap to make, to just replace your less structured kind of baggy cardigans for a jacket cardigan that just feels that little bit more chic. They're just as comfortable as your cardigan or your baggy jumper, but they look so much better. So the one I've got here in the cutaway, you can see here, it is super stretchy. This is not like the kind of blazer I'm wearing today, which has no stretch at all. This is just as cozy and with as much kind of stretch and movement as one of your other cardigans that you may wear. However, this comes with the added enjoyment of this amazing silhouette, structure and look and feel. If I just throw this on with what I'm wearing today and leave the house, I'm gonna be nice and comfortable. But to the outside eye, this absolutely looks like I've made way more effort than I have, and I'm comfortable at the same time. So it's a win-win. Absolutely love this. So next time you're out and about, maybe in the charity shops, or if you like this one, which I'll link below, just keep an eye out for those jackets and blazers that maybe have that little bit extra stretch. Maybe they're made out of a different material to what you're used to. And it's just that really nice happy medium between something that feels super comfortable, but looks much more elevated than a classic cardigan. Number 4, and we are talking about necklines. Necklines are a bit of a funny one, because although maybe some necklines don't feel uncomfortable in terms of how they restrict you, they may make you feel uncomfortable in how you look and you move. I know for myself personally, if I'm wearing anything that's a particular deep V, I'm gonna feel more self-conscious than if I'm wearing something a little bit higher up. So a neckline that I've identified to be not only modest, but that still shows a little bit of skin is the boat neckline. And I particularly love this neckline for the reason that when I look back at some of my favorite style icons from over the years, you see this neckline worn a lot. It feels modern and timeless. It shows a little bit of skin, but it's high up, so you still feel modest. The one I'm wearing here in the cutaway I actually got from a charity shop. It's by Laura Ashley. It's in navy, it's got white piping. I absolutely love it. I wish I could find more of this style. But I do love anything that's kind of off the shoulder or a boat neckline. A couple of others that I like are your classic high neck or turtleneck. I also love a square neckline, because the square neckline, it kind of shows off some of those really beautiful features, your collarbones, for example. You can wear lots of jewelry with a square neckline, but it still cuts off at a point of your body that for me feels a little bit more modest, and in turn, for me, that's more comfortable. So when it comes to buying t-shirts and just your everyday basics, just something to consider. I don't particularly like V-neck for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons being I don't feel comfortable in them, but second of all, I actually don't think they're the most flattering shape. I think these more kind of scoop neckline, boat neckline, high neckline, they leave something to the imagination, but they also look fashion forward. They're interesting to look at. So I think these are a great style swap because they look great, they look put together, but they're also not compromising on how you feel and the comfort that you feel in everyday dressing. And finally, number 5, we're actually talking about shoes. Now, this one may appeal to the shorter people watching this, but they also may appeal to any height. And a style of shoe that I pretty much exclusively wear is a nice flat form. Now what's great about a flat form is not only are you getting that little extra height so you look taller, but you also look more slender and your clothes look like they go on for longer, but you're not compromising on your comfort. Your foot is not steeply inclined like it would be in a heel. Your foot remains the same, however, you still get that height. I also think that platform and flat form shoes feel a bit more edgy. They feel a bit more fashion forward. So even if you've got the most simple of outfits on, chuck on a little flat form sandal or trainer. They just have that little bit more of an urban, quirky edge. I absolutely love a flat form. There are lots of brands out there that do a really great, comfortable flat form, particularly the Italian brands, I find. I will admit I have struggled to find a really nice, comfortable flat form white trainer. So if any of you have recommendations for one, please let me know, because I've tried the likes of Alexander McQueen, I've tried Kurt Geiger, I've tried loads of brands. I've not yet found a really comfortable flat form white trainer, but I have found loads of really nice comfortable flat form sandals, and this time of year those are what I'm wearing. So I will link some of my favorites for you down below. They're mainly by Italian brands, but also Crocs do a really good flat form sandal. I'm actually wearing a pair right now. They are so comfortable. They don't look anything like Crocs, do they? Absolutely love these. But if you are somebody that finds yourself often wearing slightly uncomfortable shoes because you want to maybe look a little bit taller, maybe they've got a slight heel, I do think a flat form is a really great way to go. I also find that when I wear flat forms versus just plain flats. I find that standing on my feet for longer is less painful. That may just be me, but nonetheless, you don't need to compromise on having that little bit of height in your everyday outfits, whether you wear them with trousers or shorts or skirts. They're a really nice way just to feel a little bit more dressed up. But as I say, they're still comfortable, particularly if you invest in a pair that's been made to be more comfortable, rather than some of maybe the cheaper brands who are just doing it for the look. You really want, particularly with shoes, to get those high quality shoes that have thought about the soles. Another little hack, if you do buy some shoes that you find uncomfortable, you can buy memory foam insoles, which definitely help, particularly if you're somebody that's on your feet all day, or you're being a tourist and you're traveling somewhere. Definitely something to consider, because it's really not nice having uncomfortable feet when you're out and about. So I always do go that little extra bougie on shoes. I don't want to compromise on the health and the comfort of my feet. So those there were 5 easy style swaps that you can make to increase your comfort in everyday life, but without compromising on your style. As I say, I'm going to link as much as I can down below in the description box. Some of the items are secondhand, but some of them you can absolutely shop from the links down below. If you yourself have got any style swaps from items that are typically uncomfortable and you found a solution around it, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your version of comfort style swaps. As always, a huge thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this video, and if you enjoy luxury for less and secondhand shopping, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you again in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.